Fish it, jerks!
Right. Are we live? Are you sure?
We are. Can I upload this?
Right.
Is it okay if I upload this?
I'll tell you at the end of the stream. We'll
Okay.
See.
All right.
If I screw up and say something dumb, then it's,
we are live.
You.
It's a good idea to always check, though, because even sometimes when I think we're live, we're not live. Chattanooga Ed and I talked for 15 minutes.
Now, there's a red thing at the top left corner that says live 40 seconds.
And in StreamYard, there's a big old orange button off to the top right. So it's very obvious that you're live or you're not live. But if you're talking to somebody and you just don't pay attention, you can talk for 15 minutes and not realize it, and then laugh for another 5 minutes once you do realize it. Hey, everybody. Look who I got. StephenP2003.
What's up?
Stephen is pretty new, to the fish fam. But I feel like he's a rising star because I don't know if you haven't seen Stephen's videos, you definitely need to watch. There's a great sense of humor there. There's a lot of information, and there's definitely a lot of talent when it comes to editing and just content creation in general. He's doing a great job. One of my favorite channels, and he's got how many videos do you have roughly?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
He's not even prepared for this. He's not even prepared. God,
you didn't send me the list of questions ahead of time.
There is no list of questions. I just thought one up. That's all right.
Hold on. Does it tell me?
Chris Biggs. And while you're doing that, let's say just a few highs.
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. It looks like an issue with the router and Echo device, so try restarting them. Unplug both of them, then plug.
Can you hear that?
Back in.
I can hear it. And Alexa lies.
Back on and connected to the internet.
God, it's like telling you how to just do everything.
And you can't stop her because if you tell her to stop, I just muted her. If you tell her to stop, she just starts over again. So, Zen Ginger, Natural Aquariums, Petite Patty, Weldon, Natural Aquariums, Ricky, Scott's Aquatics, Jenna P. Hey, she's got a name a lot like yours.
She says 39, but I'm looking on my channel. It says 40. You know what? The 40th one might be that stupid Call of Duty thing that I still have up from 7 years ago.
Gotcha. So 39. Jimmy P. Seth, because you're fish. I don't normally say hi, but I thought we would do it this time. Susan came in. Always good to see you, Susan. Skull Aquatics. We say hi. Kelly Foreman. Aw, her cat, her fat kitty escaped and hasn't come home. Aw. Well, hopefully she comes home safe and sound and not going to get any fatter over the next few months, if you know what I'm saying. Muppet, Fishion, Chris, the Mad Aquarist Biggs, that crazy MFer. Have you watched much of Chris Biggs stuff?
I subscribe to him, and I need to actually go and watch some stuff.
Another just great stuff. I absolutely love it. And sometimes in his videos, he's always very happy in his videos. Even when it's something that's not that happy, he still portrays it in a happy manner. But sometimes he, in his videos, he gets this laugh, and it's like, it reminds me of Roscoe P. Coltrane. Do you remember who that is?
You know how old I am, right?
Yeah. So it's pretty far before your time, I think. Dukes of Hazzard.
I know what the Dukes of Hazzard is.
Okay. So the original TV show.
Yeah. Okay.
Roscoe was the sheriff, and he had this laugh. And Chris sort of gets that laugh sometimes. It's like an old man laugh, and I absolutely love it. Maria Z, Knight Rider, the Knight Rider. Robert S, Dan Velez, Pep, Monster Fish Gal, Geek Boy, Petroman. Okay. I think we got everybody. And as people come in, hey, here's a hi. So when you go back and watch the replay, you notice I said hi before you even came in. All right. So Stephen, and again, just for anybody who's new, which I didn't see anybody new, but just in case. So that's it. That's all the chat we're going to look at for the next half hour or so. 40 minutes. Stephen and I are just going to have a conversation, so we're not going to see your questions. If you do have questions, wait for the second half when we open it up for the chat. Also, we're going to focus more on Stephen as the person and not so much the fish keeper. Like, we're not going to talk about the hobby too much, a little bit, but more about just his different hobbies and, just his life in general. So we're going to get to know Stephen a lot more than just as a fish keeper, fish keeperist,
Cool.
aquarist. Stephen, hi. Thanks so much for coming up.
I am so glad to be here. I'm sitting in the same virtual seat as Rachel O'Leary and Lisa and John. I mean, my God, it's a lot of pressure here.
There's been a lot of amazing guests, so it sucks that we broke that record tonight. But hey, it's nice that you're here anyways.
Yeah, the well runs dry for a little while, and I'm here to fill the void until Corey is available.
I really appreciate Stephen's content. I just really enjoy watching it. I enjoy him as a person. We talk in the chat all the time, and I consider him a friend. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So, Stephen, you live in Louisiana with your wife and 2 kids?
Yep, 2 kids.
Okay. What's their configuration?
Well, I have a 7-year-old son and a daughter who's about to turn 10 in August.
Nice.
And they're kind of in fit. They have tanks in there. Well, they each have a tank in their room, and it's kind of just like it's my tank, but they have it in their room because they don't really care what I put in there.
But they still enjoy having it, though.
Yeah, they definitely enjoy their tanks, and that's about the extent of it.
Gotcha. So it wasn't like you forced it. You're going to take this tank and like it. It's not like that.
No, they asked for them. They just don't want to go to the fish store like every damn day like I do.
Gotcha. Yeah. So they're not there yet, but you're starting them off slow.
Yeah. If I force it upon them, then they'll have some kind of PTSD about fish when they grow up.
Yeah.
Like my dad made me keep fish. He made me watch them breed.
How long have you and your wife been together?
Let's see. We got married in 2008. We were together 7 years, 7 years before that.
Oh, gotcha. So quite a while.
Yeah. It's been. I think we hit 20 years. She'll comment in the chat. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Well, Jenna is in the chat, as Stephen mentioned. Jenna P 2005 is in the chat, and 2000 isn't their last name or anything, so it's not like that's a relationship thing. 19 years, she said. 19 years. Yeah, pretty impressive. Because you seem like a younger man to me.
Or how old are you? Sweethearts.
Oh, okay. That was gonna be my next question: is how you met. So obviously in high school.
Yeah, roughly. I just turned 36 in June.
Oh, well, you're a little bit older than I thought. Yeah, I was thinking early 30s. Okay. You're aging well. There's not a lot of gray yet, or else you're
not yet,
or else you conquered just for men.
I'm supposed to have the bald gene, so we'll see.
Gotcha. So you guys met in high school, then, obviously.
Yeah, we started dating in I was the summer before my senior year. And she was going into her sophomore year.
Gotcha.
And kind of similar background to you. I stole her from my friend.
Yeah. You remember that, huh?
Yeah. Because I can relate to that story. A good friend of mine was dating her.
Did they break up, or did you really steal her? Okay.
Well, he's realized later in life that he's not into girls, so we're still friends. It wasn't a big deal.
Gotcha. So that worked out well for everybody. Well,
I would say so.
Maybe not Jenna. We'll let her talk for herself in the chat. But it worked out well for you.
She's put up with me for 19 years.
Yeah. Or else she's just really lazy. I mean, that could be too. And she just doesn't want to deal with it. That's why I think my wife. It's been 30 years for us. We've been together for about 30, close to 35 altogether. Married for 30, and I think it's just laziness on her part. She just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. So
could be like, where are you gonna go?
Yeah, she's just going to hang out with me now. Besides, all of her stuff is here.
Moving is a pain. We've been in this house for a while, and she's itching to upgrade the house, and I'm just like, you see how much stuff we have to move? Like, my 90-gallon is 200 pounds empty. I don't want to move it.
Yeah, you're set.
I'm set.
And you live in Louisiana. Where at roughly? Because we know we got Jess who lives in the northern part, and we got Chubbs who lives in the southern part. And you're sort of more central, or are you closer to which one of them?
Well, I'm not central, but I live in a town called Central. It's right outside of Baton Rouge, actually. So it's, I mean, it used to be basically part of Baton Rouge, and it's still part of the parish of East Baton Rouge. But back in, I think, 2005, they did the whole, we want to be our own city and incorporate, but, you know, also rely on all the public utilities of the big city.
Gotcha.
And so it's like, it's more, less of a city and more of like a isolated school district.
Okay. And Baton Rouge is pretty far south, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's in the foot part of the boot.
Okay.
It's it's about an hour and a half or hour or so from the New Orleans area, which I'm pretty sure is about where Chubbs is.
Yes.
Where he lives. So yeah, I'm probably about an hour and a half away from him.
Okay. Yeah, somewhere close to there.
But like Jess, I'm like a good 5 or 6 hours from her.
Okay, she's way up top.
Yeah.
Do you guys go to the golf very often?
Haven't been in a while. Well, no, I take that back. We actually went to Galveston last month, and we did kind of some bay fishing, deep sea fishing on a chartered boat. That was pretty fun, but we didn't catch much but hardhead catfish. I really want to go back. I'm itching to go fishing. It's been a while.
Yeah, but not just in the bays and stuff or the bayous, but out there in the Gulf. Is that your thing?
I don't care. I
Gotcha.
I like bass fishing too. I'll sit on the bank and catch brim all day long. I don't, I'm not picky about where I go.
Yeah. Well, there's got to be places close to you. I mean, it's so wet down there. Mm-hmm. There's got to be something not too far from you.
I'm sure there is.
But you just don't go. See, that is laziness. We're back to the laziness.
I never said I wasn't lazy. I like to stay home. I like the idea of wanting to go fishing, but house is comfy.
I get it. And for anybody that doesn't know, Stephen when he went to the Moody Aquarium. That is where in Texas? Is it in Galveston?
It's in Galveston. It was like half an hour from where we were staying in Galveston. Like it's kind of the place. It's one of the big reasons people even go to Galveston to vacation. There's even like hotels that are next to it. Like it's a big place, and it's made up of 3 pyramids, and the aquarium one is his entire pyramid, and so the whole thing is just mostly salt water. But then there's a rainforest one where you can see like birds and monkeys and stuff. But if you look down, they have all kinds of freshwater systems, and that's where that giant gourami was, and there was some archerfish. There was like a Project Piaba area. It was pretty cool stuff.
Oh, very cool.
Like I have way more footage than what you saw in that video, but I couldn't bring myself to like make it interesting and to show for like an hour. Yeah. I was like, if you want to see it, you got to go and look at it in person.
Gotcha. Sure. Yeah. I haven't been down that way in, probably close to 30 years, 25 years. But yeah, so anybody who doesn't know, Steven's got, there we go, right there. Lori's on it. I knew she'd be on it. So many awesome mods. There's just so many of them.
I can't imagine anybody in chat has not heard it yet.
That's what I was going to say. It gets played every morning on Jess's show. It's definitely one of my favorites out of all of them. And there's there's a ton of amazing Fish Fam music videos. But that is definitely one of my favorites. And somebody else already said it in chat earlier. I think it was Pep said, Mother effing seahorse. That's my favorite song, part of the song. And I've watched it. I don't know how many times. I still laugh every time. It's just great. So if you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself. Go take a look at it. It's hilarious. I don't care if you do it right now, but do it at some point and watch that. Okay, shifting gears a little bit. So you're obviously a fish keeper and you like to go fishing. What other kind of hobbies do you do? What other kind of things are you into?
My hobbies are sort of in stages. Like I have a tech background, so I was into gaming and building gaming computers and all that kind of stuff. the really expensive hobby when you're like, I want this year's video card.
Oh yeah.
And a video card costs more than what most people pay for a laptop.
Yeah.
And then I do the water cooling, and so that adds like another couple hundred to it. Yeah, very expensive hobby. And then I don't know what happened. I just stopped gaming. And
I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll if something entices me, I'll play it a little bit, but I don't do what I used to do where I would stay up late, like hours and hours, and play the same game. I don't know. I kind of wish I still did, but I just don't have the desire to do it.
Gotcha. And how long has it been since you quit doing that, really? I mean, is it recent?
I think what really happened is I was like, I had a bunch of hobbies going on back in like 2014 to 16. Like I'm also, I think I mentioned it to you, I'm also a trombone player, but I'm actually a pretty decent trombone player. Like, and I'm really into jazz trombone, and I was pretty serious about it. I'm also an oil painter, but not on the level of some of these people like Punchy Paints, Pam, like she's insanely good, but it was just kind of a therapeutic thing. But back in 2016, this house actually flooded from a flood event that was unprecedented. Like it's what you call the 1,000-year flood. We didn't have flood insurance, and in fact, we had just canceled flood insurance because we were not supposed to have it. Like when we moved into the house, we were in like a minor flood area. Then they did a study that figured out, oh, actually, we're not in a flood area. Literally a month after we canceled our insurance, we like it just
oh my God,
kind of hilarious, now that it's been 5 years since it happened. Like never saw that coming. But like after the flood, didn't have insurance, but FEMA does they'll give you like the recovery money, just kind of like, here's the money that you need to go back in your house and get a new fridge and live on concrete, and buy a bed. But I'm fairly handy. My dad's really handy. We got in the house for about 3 months straight working, and we just rebuilt it. Gotcha. And since that was like my hobby for almost a year, because after we moved back in, I still wasn't done. I had all this and that to do, and just everything else fell by the wayside. And so then eventually that, the house repairs kind of died down. So I have to figure out, what am I going to do? Like, what are my hobbies now? And I don't even remember what I picked back up. Probably gaming, because it was easy.
Yeah. And you've always been master race PC. You're not into consoles at all?
I am. Like we have an Xbox. The kids play it mostly. And that's not a dig at the Xbox. I'm just saying they play it.
Gotcha. It sort of felt like one, because that's what I play.
My kids like Xbox. No, I have a Nintendo Switch, and I mean I love Nintendo games. I feel like even if you're a PC player, you gotta have a Nintendo system, because Nintendo games are just something totally different from what you're gonna get from PlayStation, Xbox, and all that stuff. So I like Zelda and all that kind of stuff.
I have a Switch as well, and I haven't picked it up in a while. I basically got it just for Stardew Valley. I wanted to play it on there. Not Stardew. Was it Stardew Valley? Yeah. No. I'm sorry.
Animal Crossing? Yeah. That's another one that I see everybody getting into, and I'm like, it looks like a time sucker. I'm going to have to avoid that one.
It's fun, but I haven't touched that one in a long time, and I've been playing this other one that's a great combination between Minecraft and Stardew Valley. It's called Dragon Quest Builders 2, and it has a very Nintendo-ish feel to it. I'm playing it right now on the Xbox, and I just absolutely love it. It's got a good story. There's a ton of sandbox type feature, but it's sort of guided, and it's just amazing. And you can build just so many different things, and it's just fun. I'm really seriously enjoying it. And I usually
play. If my kids are into that, because they like the sandbox games, because they're really. My son is super into Minecraft. Like he's building stuff all the time, and that like he would be on that 24/7 if we didn't say you need to sleep and be a human. And then my daughter really likes, and also I got that backwards. My son really likes Roblox.
Oh, gotcha.
My daughter is into Minecraft.
Okay.
And and Roblox is kind of a similar sandbox thing. You can kind of create the game within a game, and there's a bunch of different things you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at that one a little bit, but it just the online aspect of it was
it is not for anybody above the age of like 12.
Well, mentally, that's me. You know, I'm right there. I might be friggin' old, but you know,
no, I just think that community, that community is probably people under 12, 10.
Gotcha.
So, it would be weird.
So, what was the last game you played?
About 25% of Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And then, there were issues with it. I think I just got into making YouTube videos and quit doing that altogether and just like devoted more time to making the videos. And with the promise to myself that I know they had to fix it and they had to do a bunch of updates and stuff. So eventually I'll, if it's improved, I'll go back and finish it or maybe start it over.
I actually bought that on the Google Stadia.
Oh, how did it work? How did that go? Like it's the cloud gaming, right?
Yeah, it actually ran pretty decent. I didn't get too far into it. I don't remember what caused me to stop playing. I think I just picked up something else. I do that often, and I'll go back to it as well at some point because I absolutely love the Witcher series, and I was hoping this would be.
I know.
Yeah,
people.
Close.
I mean, the expectations that The Witcher 3 gave, like, for anything that CD Projekt Red ever does is going to be compared to Witcher 3 because it was it was the game of the decade, honestly.
It is. It's definitely up there. It's an amazing game that I've played the hell out of. My son-in-law says he has something like 500 hours in it. I mean, he's played it way more than I have even. So
I did. All right, we're probably about 250. Yeah.
We're probably boring people with video game stuff.
Games, nerd stuff. Yay.
All right. So you started to talk about it just a little bit. What do you currently do for a living? Or let's go back. What kind of jobs have you held? What was your very first job that you had when you were a youngster?
When I was 16. Well, actually, before I turned 16 and could like legally work, I cut grass for neighbors and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was how I raised money to buy Dragon Ball Z figures. That was what I was into at that time. And that was like kind of the birth of e-commerce. That was before Amazon. That was around the time where eBay was still mostly auctions and not just like another online retailer. So yeah, I was really into that. And so I basically mowed grass for that. And then my first real job was Burger King.
Oh.
And I worked there for several months and then went to work with my friend over at Baskin Robbins. And then I worked at Arby's. And then when I went to college, for a while, actually, I worked for this company called Care Incorporated. It's like a respite service for people with like mentally disabled children. So I actually, for a couple of years, I sat with this autistic guy. He was like very severely, profoundly autistic, but couldn't do a whole lot on his own. So that was my job, just to kind of give the parents some reprieve in the afternoons.
Oh, gotcha.
And stuff. And and then after that, I started working for a local newspaper, entertainment magazine as like a computer help writer. It was like not the official college paper, but more like the independent competitor. It was called Tiger Weekly. It's not even around anymore. I think it changed its name and got sold. But I was a columnist there for a while, doing humor columns and stuff like that. Eventually, I sort of worked my way up to be the editor-in-chief of that paper for a couple of years. And
you can see that in your you can see that creative part in your videos and stuff. It definitely, you can see where you that is right up your alley. And maybe that even helped to hone your skills a little bit for your YouTube videos, I think.
Maybe. I mean, I've always been like that. I've always been someone who wants to make things, whether it's like a cabinet or a painting or a video or a song or something like that. When I was like a young teenager, I got my first camcorder. And actually what I used those Dragon Ball Z figures to do was make these really funny, or they were funny to my 14-year-old brain, like stop motion videos.
We did the same thing. I was in my 20s, and they were Star Wars figures, and almost always a chicken wing container, the styrofoam, a big styrofoam container of chicken wings because my buddy worked at the bar. I worked at a pizza place. After work at night, we drink and make these little videos with the Star Wars figures in a stop animation. We put a lot of effort into it.
I thought
so
the styrofoam containers were going to be spaceships or something.
Well, they took places like that. Sometimes it was just filled with the chicken wings and that was it. And other times it was like a spaceship or a room or whatever. But yeah, it was all built with that stuff. So it's funny because how old did you say you were?
14, 15. Yeah.
And I was like 24, 25. That's funny. All right. I interrupted you though. So you've always had that creative spark or whatever. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we got up to the newspaper. We got past that, the autistic gentleman.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I went to college, my declared major at first was computer engineering because I'm like, yay, tech geek stuff. And then I realized I don't like calculus, and you have to take like 4 of those. So
yes.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Honestly, and calculus, what else? Physics. There was like this stupid weed out class about electronic gates or something like that, and the teacher barely spoke English, and it felt like all the classmates around me already knew all the content, like they were so into it that they had already studied it, and I just felt like I do not belong here.
Yeah.
At all. So
Gotcha.
I changed my major maybe about a year into college to creative writing.
Oh,
English,
okay.
like English with a concentration in creative writing. And yes, it was way, way easier and way, way useless. But you know what? I got a degree. Awesome.
Okay. And did that turn into real world work as well?
Kind of. Like I got a job out of college working for a government contractor as a proposal manager, which basically is just the guy who makes sure everyone gets all their stuff in. Like the government will need a contractor to do something. They'll release an RFP. I don't know if you're familiar with that, the contracting world. And then companies have to respond with a long, either like 20 pages or 2,000 pages of all this stuff that you have to provide. So really, I got that job kind of based on my experience being an editor at Tiger Weekly, just because that was my job at Tiger Weekly, was to make sure everybody got their stuff in on time. Yeah. And we had a story for this page, and they were all the appropriate length and everything fit together. So I think that's why I got the job from that.
Gotcha.
The English degree is just more of a piece of paper because, a lot of those contractors require a degree for government reasons.
Gotcha.
So
the proposals were really just your stories each week, or your each proposal was
it was like a publication, like a print run.
I have a friend who's he works for a cable company, not like Spectrum, but they run the cables, and that's basically his job. Is he brings in all the data and gives quotes and stuff to people and takes their proposals for third parties, and I mean just all of it, and it's amazing because. I mean, we've hung out a lot. He's my best friend, and I've seen him do some really stupid things, and it's just I've seen him be really drunk, and I've seen him just be, really just dumb as me, and then he's doing these things that are millions and millions of dollars, and he does it very well. So it's just funny to see, that side of him, and then he's just so. I'm pretty sure he's a vice president of a pretty large company and very respectable, responsible person. And I just want to say, I know you, I know the real you.
My employers do not know about my YouTube channel. Because I've moved on from, I was at that job out of college for 9 years. And then I moved on to another company, and I work remotely, which is awesome because it gives me a lot of time. Because it's a job where you have your thing that you need to do and make sure it gets done. And they're not like tracking every hour that you work. They just want to make sure that you're doing the job. And if you're doing the job, it doesn't matter if you only work 4 hours one day and maybe at crunch time, you got to work a 12-hour day just to get everything done and out the door by deadline.
Yeah. Yeah. So it fits in perfectly with your home body.
Yeah,
you definitely like
absolutely.
that, and just with your hobbies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how long now have you been with this company?
See, 2017. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
been 4 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little over 4 years.
And do you think this is your career now? Do
Might
you
as well
enjoy it?
be. Yeah, no,
Might as
do I
well be.
enjoy it? It's no,
Well,
it's
you don't hate it,
I don't
is what I
hate it.
should
I don't
say.
dread waking up. I
Yeah.
don't hate anyone I work with. I actually love everybody I work with, actually. It's just it's not like the do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. No, it's
Yeah.
still work. It's boring. It's a tech company, but the tech it does is not like my passion, you know.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
it's like I'm very blessed, lucky to have the job. And so I definitely like would never want to just quit and say I'm going to go pursue my dream
Yeah.
because it pays well.
I'm going to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, right. No, I do this for fun. I do it for me. Like
Yeah.
I make the videos that I want to make, and just get as silly as I want to be with them.
And it shows that not that you don't care, but that um, you're not making videos that you expect, that you want everybody to like. You're making videos that you're just having fun with, and that
Hmm.
that kind of stuff shows. And I've said this, I've said this so many times to so many of our interviewees, but it's definitely very genuine. You know what I mean? There's some videos out there that, and some, maybe not so much in the fish fan, but in the fish community in general, where you can just tell that the video was just made just for the views. It's not even, doesn't even have a
Yeah.
clickbaity title. It's just the whole video itself is very, it's just not genuine. It does, the way the person comes across and everything, but you're not that guy, and I think that's what I appreciate about you.
I kind of want, like, when I first started, I'm like, I'm going to do parodies of those types of videos that you're talking about. And then it just didn't work because, like, I would do these thumbnails that I thought were parodies of clickbait thumbnails, but there is a really blurry line between like really, really taking it seriously and parody.
Yeah.
And they've just kind of become real now. I can't act like I'm making fun of clickbait now. I'm just doing it.
Gotcha. And yeah, it's hard to tell even on the outside. If you can barely tell, I mean,
Yeah,
how do we know? We're not going to be able
exactly.
to tell. We're going to think it's that anyway. So
Yeah.
they are great. I just absolutely love your videos. You currently live in Louisiana, born and raised?
Yep. In fact, I this town of Central was where I lived, and in fact, we live in the same neighborhood that my wife Jenna grew up in, and her mother is like a couple blocks away.
Um, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's give and take. I mean, no, she's great. I'm kidding. There's no issue with it, and
That's good.
it's great because the kids love her and they can spend the night over at her house for a couple of days or
Yeah.
just a day or an afternoon or whatever. It's very
Yeah.
convenient.
Because when we lived in Arizona, my in-laws, and again, they're great people, but they just always wanted to help all the time. Like I would be at work and something would happen, and my father-in-law would take care of it. And I was like, dude, I didn't, and then make me feel like crap because he took care of it. I was like, I was at work, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Just give me time,
Yeah.
And so that was a little bit of why we wanted to get away. Was again, they had the best interests and everything at heart, but there wasn't a big separation. They weren't too far away. But my kids, two of the kids, did get to grow up with grandma and grandpa, so that was important. There's good and bad on that part of it. So, but it sounds like you've got a decent situation. So you've never
Yeah.
have you ever wanted to live in other places, or are you pretty
Sure. I just,
comfortable where you're at?
I mean, all my family is here, and
Yeah,
yeah, and I haven't, and because I have a work at home job, I could live anywhere. My wife is a school teacher. She could technically, get a job as a teacher anywhere. But we also have my parents actually just in the last few years, they were living in Florida for a while because I have a brother in Florida who had young kids. They want to be close to the grandkids over there. Now we have younger kids. They moved back. So for me to like say, you know what, we're leaving.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not
I
I
get
feel like
that.
stuck here, but I also feel like I don't have to move, and like I've got I've got time if we want to move and live somewhere else.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think we're this is it. I mean, I've lived Chicago, I've lived Arizona, and upstate New York, right on the lake, is just it's my favorite. Once the kids actually move out, they're talking about moving to different places. I think we're going to buy an RV. We'll go visit them, but this is it. This is home. They'll take me out of here in a body bag. I'm done moving. I'm done moving.
And this is a fairly quiet community. I mean, the worst part about it is it's a small town Louisiana politics, so you can imagine what that's like. But if you don't leave the house and you don't get on Facebook, then you don't really notice it. It's all good.
And those are two things I try not to do as well. So we have a lot in common, you and I, Stephen.
We do.
And and again, for anybody who isn't aware, it's not Stephen. Don't call him Stephen. It's Stephen. And now it's a joke though. Every time I see somebody, somebody just the other day said it. They said, "Is it Stephen or Stephen?" I'm going to go with Stephen. I think I don't remember what stream it was in.
Oh,
it was just the other day. I was laughing so hard. I don't know if I can't remember which stream it was, but now it's just a big joke because it's been going on for so long, and I don't know anybody named Stephen. I guess maybe
I don't either.
Maybe it's more of a European pronunciation. What about chat?
I know British people whose name they spell the name the same way as me, and they're Stephen. Like I have coworkers that are from Europe, and they they spell it Stephen, and it's Stephen, and they've never heard of a Stephen. I've asked them before, because someone asked them, "Do you go by Stephen or Stephen?" They said Stephen, and they're like all confused. Yeah, I know. This is a very confusing question, isn't it?
The guy who owned a cottage right below us here, his name is Jesus. Very cool guy. He's a professor of philosophy at RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, but he's lived all over the world. Just a bunch of great stories and stuff. His name is Jesus. And one day I was talking to him. One of the first times I met him, I knew what his name was, and all day long I kept calling him Jose. And after he left, my daughter pointed out. She goes, "You realize you were calling him Jose that whole time and not Jesus." And I was like, "Oh no." And so the next day when I saw him, I go, "Hey, I owe you an apology." My daughter pointed out that, you should have corrected me, but I was calling you, Jose instead of Jesus. And he goes, "Don't worry about it, Rock. My name's Rick." So he called me Rock for years and years after that. That's all he ever called me was Rock.
Okay. I was like, was that intentional or yeah?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it was
always
always
call him. At least you didn't call him Jesus.
Yeah.
It was spelled that way, right? Jesus.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're a little bit after 7:00. Why don't we go ahead and open up questions to get questions from the chat? And hey, everybody. So again, the whole first part, we don't look at the chat. So if you said hi and I didn't respond, that's why. Nothing against you personally. Well, maybe some of you. You know who you are. No, nothing against anybody. We just don't look at it. And Degenerate says nobody messes with the Jesus, with the Jesus from Big Lebowski. That's a quote from Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
As the guy's, cleaning his ball when he's bowling. Rock, how are you? All right, let's see. Let's scroll up just a little bit. Yeah, if you've got any questions, now's a good time. Again, if you want to know fish stuff, that's fine. But if you've got other questions too, that's even better. So Ricky has his regular question. It's become like a tradition, actually. So what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I don't really have a favorite movie. But my movie taste probably would disgust people because I watch movies to laugh or be entertained in the most mind-numbing, easiest way. I do not don't make me think at the movies. Do not make me read subtitles for very long at least. So I will watch all the MCU movies I've seen 100 times each. I could probably just quote the whole damn script by now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was a 90s kid, but also kind of an 80s kid because I have 4 older brothers. And so like they all the stuff that they watched back in the 80s, I also watched. So like I'm really into the Back to the Future trilogy, the original Terminator and Terminator 2. It kind of got off the rails after that, but those 2 movies are good.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
It's very hard. I don't know how people can pick a favorite anything when it comes to art. You know, a favorite song, a favorite artist, a favorite movie. I don't know how anybody can do that. I never.
I mean, it changes because if there's a movie that I'm like into and I'm watching more often, then yeah, maybe that's my favorite. But eventually, I'm gonna get tired of it, and it's not gonna be my favorite for a really long time.
Yeah. If you had to pick one genre of movie, which would it be? Would it sci-fi, fantasy, you know, just lowbrow comedy like Waterboy type comedy? What that would be it?
It would be comedies, yeah.
Gotcha.
And comedies, stand-up comedy specials. And I guess second to that, if like I wasn't just going to movies to laugh, I really like the superhero movies. You know, some people are not into them, and you know they say they're not true to the comics. Well, I never read comic books as a kid, honestly. Well, this wasn't my thing.
Even if you did read the comics, it doesn't matter. That's a whole different medium. This isn't a comic book. This is a movie. It's a movie based on a comic book, but it doesn't need to be the same.
Yeah, people complain about books being adapted and stuff being cut out.
You froze or I froze.
Uh-oh.
You're looking down. It looks like you're praying. Hopefully it's you and not me. I mean, I can still hear you. I still hear you just fine. Yeah. Okay. It's just, it looks like you're about to say grace over something.
Huh. Well, let me
but again, I can hear you fine.
I'll plug the camera and plug it back in and see what happens.
Doot, 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 doot.
Waiting for connection.
Well, as we're doing that, who is your favorite superhero from the MCU, or is it DC? Who is your favorite?
I mean, I like Batman from the DC, but I cannot get into the DC universe. Those movies are just, I don't know, they're kind of boring, a little bit too dark. I like the lightheartedness of the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I really like the Captain America movies a lot, and I like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah, good.
Couldn't say I have a favorite superhero of those though.
Just the whole thing.
Yeah, it's mostly about which has the best movies, the best story.
Gotcha. And I couldn't pick a favorite out of all those either. We just watched them all in chronological order, and I could go back and do it again already. I think we're going to do Star Wars now. So we've done Harry Potter that way. We did. I mean, there's not a lot of things you can do. There we go.
All right. Yeah, I switched to my laptop webcam. I had my phone being used externally, and my computer just decided to stop recognizing it.
Yeah, when your phone wasn't hot, huh? Usually it seems to make them pretty warm.
No, it didn't feel warm.
Oh, that's good.
That's my old phone. My new one, the Sony, whenever I'll start trying to film fish in like 4K, 120 frames per second, and I'll do about 5 minutes, and then it'll say phone is shutting down.
Fishymon wants to know what your favorite color is. Blue. Blue.
Oh my God. Favorite color. I don't know.
Do you have a favorite color?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of blue, I have to show off this.
Very nice shirt.
The new
they didn't send me one of those, and they never wrote me nice notes like that. So,
well, they only write nice notes to nice people.
Yeah.
Just saying. Natural Aquariums, which is Ryan, I believe, right? Ryan, was Moody Gardens Steven's first rap, or has he been spitting rhymes for a while now?
that was first time.
Gotcha. You couldn't tell. You did an amazing job.
Yeah, I mean, just like all those little song things I do in my videos are just like super derivative. Like here, let's find this generic loop that sounds like country, that sounds like rock or whatever, and then
got you.
I just come up with a derivative melody.
Who was it? Jimmy P? I think he's in here. I think Jimmy pointed out when I asked that your next one be death metal, that you had just lost all your fish. So it was a little bit of a poor timing to ask for death metal.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening. You suggested it. I have already recorded it.
Nice.
It's almost a done deal. Yeah.
So what you need to do is you need to cut all of those into smaller bites to be able to give Jess so that she can play, to make it easy on Jess. You know what I'm saying? So that she can play those on the morning show so everybody gets to experience them.
Maybe, but then they'll play play it once a month or something, you know? Like, I just feel like I have to mute every time my rap comes on now. I just can't, you know. That's my problem, is I don't want to listen to myself. It's agonizing every time I have to edit a video, because I got to hear myself say the same things over and over and over just to synchronize it with other BS I'm putting on the screen.
Just stop editing.
Then what do I have if I stop editing? I don't have fish information.
You do. Yeah.
I find a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you still got a great sense of humor. I don't know. It's working for me. I don't ever edit. I mean, I'll never be big, but that's okay.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You can talk to people. You know, it's great. Like, you're obviously not an introvert.
I am. I am.
Well, the thing is, Rico?
The thing is, this takes a lot out. I mean, is there's times when I just need to, recover from this. It's not that I'm putting on a face or anything, but I just need. Rachel O'Leary described it very well too. She said she can get up there and speak in front of people, but she really needs that time to just get away afterwards and get her energy back, and just it's very draining. It really is. But I can do it. I force myself to walk up to people I don't know and say hi, and especially the fish swap. I wanted to know more about the club, so I went up to him and I just started talking to him and started asking questions and pulling information. I think that's the biggest thing, is asking questions, showing interest. That's the biggest part, is don't worry about yourself, because if you're asking questions to them, you don't worry about yourself. That's why
sounds
this fits
like what an extrovert would say. You're just an extrovert who needs a nap.
Maybe that's it. I do like my naps. I do enjoy a good nap, but I'm an old man, so I'm allowed. Maybe, I don't know. I was always considered an introvert, but maybe, I don't know. All right. So, it jumped right when I was reading it. Where's it at? There it is. Okay. Michelle Kenzie would. So, Stephen, how about that Rico Stan Lowrider parody? I think you could do a really good job.
I thought you were doing REM.
No, I'm doing Billy Joel.
Oh,
We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you were doing It's the End of the World. It's because it's the same cadence where you're like saying crap.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. You're just spitting out a bunch of names and words. Yeah, that's why. That's why it's the same exact type of thing. Those songs are very close to the same thing. Larry D came in. Good to see you, buddy. Stephen. Oh, wait. Fishymon is really getting in depth here, and he wants to know what's your sign. He actually said what's your sing. And I don't think that's some kind of Indian thing there. I think he did mean what's your sign.
Well, it depends on what horoscope paper or website you're reading. I was born June 21st, so sometimes I'm Gemini. I think most of the time I'm Cancer.
Oh, is that the cutoff date or something?
It's the cusp is what they call it.
Gotcha. I don't follow any of that stuff. So
no, I don't really either. I used to write an astrology column when I worked for the paper that was just like insulting people. Kind of like what's it called? It's a Weird Al song that just goes through all the astrological signs, and just maybe it's just called Horoscope, but it was from their 1999 album Running with Scissors.
God, I don't know that I remember that one. And I love Weird Al. That was so funny today when Jess said she didn't know who Weird Al was.
I know.
Who's Weird Al? And everybody's like, what?
Like, even if you were not like a geek, you know who he is. Like, really, you got to know what Amish paradise is. Like, everybody's heard of that one, right?
Even as a young man, listening to Dr. Demento at 2:00 in the morning and hearing Another One Rides the Bus. I remember that very clearly. Now Fishy Mom wants to know. I think Fishy Mom wants to take you out on a date because he's looking for your favorite food now. He wanted your color, your sign, and your favorite food. If he talks about walks on the beach next, I don't know.
No, I'm not really a fan of the beach. I like looking at it.
You like
a walk? Jesus.
I'm not gonna walk. Yeah, but do you have a favorite food?
I like the basic stuff. I like tacos and I like spaghetti and hamburgers. That's my thing.
Is there anything you really, really hate? Any kind of food that you absolutely just hate the smell of or the sight of? Or
I don't like milk. I don't like to drink milk, like just regular milk. I had a very bad experience with dairy when I was a kid, where I was just a dumb kid pouring a bowl of cereal, not realizing that that milk was like, I don't know, 2 weeks old.
Chunky.
Wasn't quite chunky, but it had a taste, and I will never forget it. And I always think about it. I can't even drink eggnog for that reason.
Yeah,
like my wife really wants me to drink eggnog. I'm like, can't do it. It's psychological. It doesn't make any sense, but it's just what it is. And I also hate anything that's got cream cheese in it, unless you can't really taste the cream cheese. Like a plain cheesecake, can't do it.
Wow. Because it has that hint of milk to it or something, or
I guess it's got the weird kind of like
tangy milk-ish.
Yeah. Same thing with yogurt. Like I'll eat like the sugar enhanced Yoplait stuff, but like if you give me one of those like natural yogurts where I have to stir that crap, no.
Mine, I have one of those too, and it's kiwi. I loved kiwis. But when I was a produce manager, one day I ate one, and I got really sick from it. I don't know. I did the normal washing and stuff. I don't know. We didn't have any other complaints. I actually pulled the new stuff off the counter, off the display, because I was worried about it. I mean, I really got sick from eating. And ever since, I just can't eat them. And up until that point, I'd eat them quite often, and, maybe one a day or something even. I mean, it was a common thing, but now I can't eat them at all. It's weird.
I grew up, my parents had like 5 acres of land and an orchard. Like that was my dad's hobby, still is like growing produce, like peaches and plums and all kinds of vegetables. So like there's really no vegetable that's off limits for me. I like them all. And because as a kid, there was no question of whether or not we were going to eat them. It was a family of 5 kids in the house. We were growing stuff. We're not throwing that away.
Yeah.
Like you're not having anything else.
That's all there is. There is no getting your own.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You know what, Fishy Mon, I'm skipping that one.
Why is the sky blue? Is that why he's asking?
Yeah.
Ask Google. Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But he actually said, why is the sky blue? So maybe there's some kind of secret message hidden in there.
I don't know.
It's Fishy Mon. You just don't know.
I don't know, Fishy Mon. I am not a biologist.
There's Lisa. Always good to see Lisa. Awesome.
Hey, Lisa.
Person. Kelly Foreman would like to know, and Kelly Foreman, another person, I'm very happy she's been joining us a lot more lately, and I've talked about Kelly Foreman quite often. She sent me a huge box of plants for my indoor aquarium.
I saw that.
And then just recently, she sent me one for the pond as well. She sent me a box of plants. So
now, when is she going to be on the show?
That's a good question, Kelly. We gotta reach out. Got to talk to Kelly and see. I don't know much about Kelly. I know where she lives because I have a return address, but that's all I know.
Have you Zillowed her house yet?
No. I'm going to now. Now that you said that, I'm going to have to do that. I hope people don't do that to mine because, no, there's updated pictures. I was going to say because we had really bad pictures when we first bought this place. It's a long story. I don't want to get into it, but it had been abandoned for a while. And so there was, it was rough, and it still is. We're still working through some of the stuff. We've been here 12 years, but people would freak out if I paid less for this house and it's lakefront than most people pay for their cars.
Wow.
I really, it's a long,
you're like
story.
Walking distance from the lake or wherever, Lake Ontario, right?
We actually have access rights because we have a little patch of property that is waterfront. It's called East Bay. It's a little bay on Lake Ontario, but I can see Lake Ontario right out the window. It's
Wow,
right over
that's
there.
great.
So
I
yeah,
would be casting a line out there every day, honestly.
we talked about that, and I don't fish
Yeah.
much anymore. I know Terry's probably screaming right now because I said that, but I just don't. I used to, but I don't kayak like I did either. I can't get out there like I used to. But even when I did kayak a lot, I didn't do it to fish very often. Every once in a while, but I was kayaking every day, and I'd go fishing maybe once every 2 weeks. It was more about the bird watching and getting sun, and sometimes you paddle way out into the middle of something like Lake Ontario, paddle way out until you can't see land. And I've talked about this before, but it's
That's
a
kind of
very
freaky. Yeah, unsettling.
it's not unsettling to me. It was very zen like, and it was very quiet.
Oh,
You got to pick your days, because some days, even on way on Lake Ontario, there's constant boats. But if you pick your days, it's like Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. and you're out in the middle of the lake. There's nothing around. You see no people. You hear nothing except the birds and a little bit of, and again, you got to pick your days, but it does something to you when you don't see land like that. It's very
it would do something to me unless I had GPS on. Like, I'm used to looking at the GPS screen and the fish finder on the boat. Like, okay, we're right here.
Yeah.
If I'm in a kayak and I'm like, I got to paddle, and if I paddle the wrong direction, I'm going to get tired.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I did end up in the wrong place, I hit the shore, and I'd call my wife, and she'd come get me.
Yeah,
that never happened. But okay, but she did ask, what rainbows are you going to do next? Now, you just did you finished off the Suda McGill tank, right? You, as far as fish go.
The 90.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's like the Suda McGills. Like, if I stop there, even when they get big, they're not shoaling. I mean, they're kind of, for social reasons, they'll shoal.
Yeah.
But most of the time, they're off dispersed doing their own thing. And I imagine when they get a little bigger, they'll start exhibiting more breeding behavior, and they'll stick together like my other ones did. But I mean, this is a 90-gallon tank with 33 Suda McGills.
Oh, for some reason, I thought you had a lot more of them. I thought you had like 50 of them just from one order, and then you ordered another batch, and I thought there was a lot more. Okay.
Well, I ordered. So I went on Dan's Fish, and like my priority at first was like, I got to get more Luminatus, because somehow miraculously I had a surviving Luminatus. I have no earthly idea how.
Yeah.
Like every other fish suffocated, and this one just hung on. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get more friends for him, but like I added those to cart, and then I started scrolling through Dan's, like, I might as well. I got this box. I can fit 80% more in the box. So keep going. By the time I was ready to check out, the freaking Luminatus were gone.
Oh, that wasn't me. I didn't do it. I got mine earlier.
Well, yeah, you got it from Aquahuna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Aquahuna was out of them at the time too.
Oh, gotcha.
So I ordered them from Aquatic Arts.
Go ahead.
I got 22 Suda McGills from Dan. That was as many that would fit in the box, with like 3% space remaining. But every time I added another Suda McGill, would go over the box limit.
Oh, gotcha.
So 22 was the cutoff, and then I ordered another 10 from 10 Luminatas from Aquatic Arts. So I'll be with 33 of them total.
Okay.
And I think that's fine, because I also want other rainbows. And so, to answer Kelly's question, I am looking at I wanted to replace the Bosemani, because I really like the Bosemani, but my wife is kind of in the same boat as me. It's like, well, we had them. They had a good run. So let's try something different.
Gotcha.
And so I think we're going to get the Chilatarina, the Blair Eye.
Okay.
I saw a video on Dan's website that showed them flashing, like literally flashing, like this yellow streak that just appears on like the top of their head, like, and flashes on and off when they're doing their mating stuff.
Wow.
It's really cool. Like, I didn't know they could do that.
I probably shouldn't be looking these up, because I don't have any room for more rainbows, especially a larger one. Yeah,
they're the kind that get as big as the Melanitanias.
What's the name of them again?
Chilatarina Bleheri, or Bleheri.
Didn't hear the H.
Yeah, I kind of slurred it. I don't know if it's Bleheri or Bleheri or Bleheri. I don't think I ever pronounced the Latin names correctly. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
And now my Melanitania are freaking out. They're really skittish lately. I don't know what their deal is.
Oh, let's not wait on me to look these up. Besides, you know what? No, I'm not even going to look them because, like I said, I don't have room. I have to buy a pool now for the basement because I pulled some bluegills out of the bay. I didn't know what they were. I wanted to go collect some things, so I couldn't tell what they were. So I kept them for a couple days, and then I was like, nah, I've already got them. I don't want to put them back in the bay. Once I put them in the aquarium and watched them swim around a little bit, then I could go identify them, and they are just bluegills. So I have 6 bluegills. Right now they're in just a little 29 gallon, but I'm going to get like a 200 gallon pond.
Yeah, I was going to say
pool to put in the basement.
Wow, really? That's awesome. Yeah, you're kind of like in the same stage of fish keeping as I am, where it's like I've done the live bears, I've done all the easy breeding, I've done plecos, which I say I breed them, but it's more like I put them in water and they make more for me. And yeah, I do. I want to try something else. Like I want to go with the egg layers, egg scatterers, and the kind of fish that where you really need to like give them like microorganisms to eat, and it's not just put baby brine in there and they grow.
More to it. I thought I had some CPD fry today, but I had used a bucket that I leave the rain buckets outside for a day or two to get some of the mosquito larvae, and I forgot that I had used some of that water for the CPD tank, and there's a whole bunch of mosquito larvae, and I thought they were CPD fry. At first, I was like all excited. I was like, and then I looked in there and then I realized what they were, and I was like, oh, God damn
it!
Yeah. Lisa said, "What did I walk into?" I wonder. We're way back in the chat. Jeez, wow, we're about 15 minutes behind. So I wonder what we were talking about 15 minutes ago. Select Pet is what's Steven's favorite franchise with star in the name? Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate.
Star Wars, but I'm not like into Star Wars. I just I know nothing about Stargate. Star Trek, I know the basics. My dad was really into it. He watched when I was a kid. He watched the Next Generation, and I guess before that he was into the original Star Wars. But then he was really into Next Generation, so I know a lot about that one.
Okay, I remember when my oldest son. I didn't see him in here tonight. A lot of times he comes in, but when he was very little, for Star Trek Next Generation, we would, how the ship would come out of the one side and come up, and it's like fly by the screen. It would come up from one direction and came across. Do you remember the intro? So we would always sit with him, and as the ship came flying up, we'd all act like it was, pushing us to the side. And so that was like his favorite thing. He was like 5 years old or something like that at the time. And he still remembers that. It's just a cool memory for him.
I saw Ricky was asking if I like dogs or cats. I'm definitely a dog person. I'm fine with cats, and I know that we'll always have a cat in the house because my wife likes all animals, and she grew up with cats or with a cat, and so she wants to have a cat. We'll have a cat. The one we have right now is 14. We actually we had 2. And just in the last couple of months, her litter mate that we named Scout, she died of kidney failure.
Oh,
she was always kind of the runt. Like I was really just going to adopt the one we have now, but the shelter was asking like, can you take them both? They're litter mates, and they haven't separated at all. Their mother died, and so I was like, sure, I'll take them both.
Gotcha.
And so she was always really small, while the one that's still living is like super huge.
Gotcha. So, but the other one made it to 14.
Yeah, 14.
I mean that's pretty good for having for being the runt and everything.
Yeah,
we've got one, and once he's passed, then we're done with cats. I think my wife doesn't want any more animals in the house. She said, but dogs will always have. She says no, but she doesn't know what she means because we'll always have dogs. And here's a great compliment. Lisa said, "Stephen, you're a great editor."
Oh yeah, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I sent her the link to my unboxing of the betta. It's been doing this for weeks now. The rain, it won't stop. My grass is like as tall as me.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I can't
I
get out there
love
and
it.
mow.
I absolutely love it. See, this is how far we are extrovert in denial. Remember we were talking about introverts and extroverts?
Mm-hmm.
That's how far
That's
back
what
we
it
are.
is. Yeah.
All right, so let's try and jump up here a little bit. Extrovert who needs a nap. That's what Kelly Foreman said. Sorry about the dogs barking. They just realized that the cat was in here. I didn't even hear them. Didn't even hear the dogs barking. I probably thought it was mine.
Jenna said that.
Yeah. Zen Ginger said, Stephen, that's my daughter's birthday, but she swears she's a Gemini. But she's 9. What does she know? Zen Ginger said, hi, Lisa. I just got my shirt. Thank you. If Lisa's still in here.
Awesome. I like a shirt. Yeah.
I thought it was very cool, and again, I don't want to get into that. What is the perfect date? My Fish Tanks Aquatics would like to know what your perfect date is.
Oh, well, we would go out to right here in the house and never leave, for sure. That wouldn't be my wife's idea of a perfect date, but yeah, like stay home and torrent a movie.
Nice. I like that.
I mean, that's what we did. That's what we did during the pandemic. Couldn't go out to see a movie, so just have to wait. And I mean, there wasn't crap for movies during the pandemic either.
Yeah. So many of them got pushed off. I like that you added torrent a movie.
Yeah,
we're big fans.
Well, download a movie. I mean, yeah, I would acquire a movie in a way that is none of your business.
I do like Cody. Let's see. Kelly Foreman said I should come on your live stream. Okay, there we go. I'm going to send you an email, Kelly, and we're gonna work out the details. So that will be very cool to have Kelly come up. Her mansion in Fort Wayne. All right, so some questions there. Let's try and skip ahead. We'll feel like Rico wants to become lost at sea eventually. Well, not really. Maybe just for an hour. That's what I'm saying. I there's a lot of times when I did paddle, even in the little bay right here, whichever direction the wind was coming, I would paddle into the wind, get to that corner of the bay, and then I'd put my oar on my paddle on the side of the boat on the kayak, and get a beer, and kick my feet up, and the wind would just blow. The wind would blow me across the bay, and I'd go all the way across the bay, and then I'd paddle back to that side again, and just slowly. And it was just, I'm out getting some sun. I'm watching the birds. Sometimes I even take a book. I put my Kindle in a couple of baggies, Ziploc baggies, and take my Kindle out and read a book while I'm paddling.
Yeah, so. I mean, I can see the zen in that, just relaxing, and getting blown by the wind. And I would just have to get over my obsession with knowing what direction I'm facing at all times and like which way land is.
Yeah. Well, in the bay, you don't have to worry about it. You're surrounded.
I mean, yeah,
but the other,
just a lake.
I got you. The first time I did it, I got the idea actually from a guy, and I can't remember his name. His first name is Chris. He wrote a book about the Inside Passage, up to Alaska from, the tip of Washington up to Alaska. That's called the Inside Passage there. And he paddled that with his wife, and they wrote a book about it. And there was sections of that in the crossing where they talked about that and how it affected them and how they felt. And I was like, I want that. I want that so bad. And I went and did it. And he did an amazing job of describing it. I wish I could remember the gentleman's name.
How long did it take him to do that?
For them to cross, I don't remember. It was like a day or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was even a full day. I think they left early in the morning, and they were able to camp that night on, the peninsula on the other side there. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't even remember what it's called. Damn. See, there was probably some good jokes here. Mike said, so you have to leave, Rico? Savage. And it was probably a great joke, but I don't remember what it was for. But we are catching up. Chattanooga Ed came in. What's up, buddy? He's my friend.
Kelly Foreman, Melantania Picta. I just looked at a picture of that. Those look pretty cool. Does Dan sell those? I don't know if I noticed them.
I'm sorry, I skipped right over that one.
Yeah. I saw Melanitania, and so my eyes stopped. I'm like, oh, Bing! New Melanitania. Yeah, I will bookmark that for sure.
Michelle Kenzie said I was wearing my KG Tropical shirt this past weekend, when me and my family ran into Brian from Detroit Shrimp. Very cool. Oh, damn it. It just jumped on me, and I saw Ricky's question. Oh, it's the same thing we already talked about, Ricky. What is Steven's dream vacation? No, we didn't talk about that. We talked about your dream date. We didn't talk about vacation. What's your dream vacation? Hanging out in the house?
No, I'll leave the house for a vacation. Because my wife loves to travel. She's really good at like coordinating travel plans and stuff. So like lately we've been going to Disney World every year except for the pandemic year. Yeah. But we're planning on going back the next summer. And that's fun because the kids like it. Yeah. And she does a really good job of planning it where I'm not like, I told her, like, I hate crowds. I hate waiting. And that's basically what Disney World is crowds and waiting. Yeah. But she plans it out in a way that I'm never like just sitting there idle and waiting to get on a ride for an hour and a half. Like, she's got all the fast passes picked out. She makes reservations at sit-down restaurants. We always have a break. Wow. She does the early morning breakfast reservation. So we actually get in the park like an hour before everyone else. And I go eat a big breakfast and I'm energized for the day because I had to wake up early. So, yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed doing the Disney trips for sure.
Nice. Jenna P sounds like a keeper. I approve. You've got my blessing. I know that matters a lot.
It really does.
Kelly said, woohoo, minor fame will be mine. Might be infamy, not fame. Who knows? Okay, so, but you didn't really answer what the dream vacation was, though.
Okay, a dream vacation. Well, if we're not gonna go do like the VIP Disney experience where you pay them like thousands of dollars an hour and that really is a thing. You can pay them like in just a ridiculous, disgusting amount of money, and they'll just take you on a tour of the park and just let you skip all the lines. I think I would feel like an asshole if I did that, though. I could bring myself to do it. Yeah. I would like to take a very far away trip, like Australia or something like that would be fun. And it would also be fun to go in kind of those remote areas and do some fishing or like some collecting, something like that would be really fun.
Very cool. Very cool. I don't think I have a dream vacation. I guess I'd want to, like, if I was still able to kayak, I'd like to just my wife and I kayak to like a deserted island that they fly in a catering company and set up a yurt, and a big thing. We have catered meals every day and we just hang out on the island and fall asleep by the shore. Because that's one thing. We don't always hear the waves here, but there's a lot of nights we do. We leave our windows open all year. Well, not all year round, obviously. It gets friggin' cold here. But pretty much the end of June through the end of October, the windows are pretty much open the whole time. And at night, a lot of nights you can hear the waves hitting the shore. And I love falling asleep about that. Yeah. Bob Kaler. What's up, Bob?
Hey, Bob.
Bob would like to know what you were incarcerated for.
What I was incarcerated for?
It's a standard one. Just like Ricky, he always asks about. He just said ask about incarceration. So
I was a good boy. Yeah.
The last time he asked that question, though, he had a typo. Autocorrect got him, and it said ask him about incarnation. And I was like, what?
Oh, well, I did used to be a lizard.
All right, let's see. Jumped a little bit. I think I was towards the bottom. Anyways, I think we're getting close to the bottom of the chat here.
I would like to address Terry's comment about what is easy about breeding life bearers. And if you do it like Terry does it, then there's nothing easy about it. It's extremely, extremely complicated and involved and requires too many freaking tanks. And it's very Hitler-esque. Because preserve the bloodline. You got to make sure everything is pure and perfect, and purge the other ones in some way we won't discuss.
Kelly said she got her M-Picta from Eric Bodrock. Did I say his name right? I know he's famous, and I've seen his name a lot.
Yeah,
in fact, he's going to be speaking somewhere very soon, I believe. It may be one of the Aquashellas or the Keystone Clash or something. I think it's the Keystone Clash he's going to be at. Anyways, all Oddball Aquatics on Aquabid.
Yeah, I definitely know them.
The TN Fish Mafia has some special vacations. How long can you be gone? Favorite video game series?
Oh, huh. Well, I would say the Witcher series, except the Witcher 1 and 2 were like not that amazing. I can't say as a whole it was a great series.
2 was pretty good. It was pretty good. I mean, it was enjoyable. It was up there, but 3, nothing even close to 3.
Yeah. I used to be really into a lot of the first person shooters just because it's the kind of I was really into them when our children were babies, because I would take the night shift when all night when the babies woke up, needed feedings and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
So playing online Call of Duty, it's easy to jump in a match and play, and then you got to get up. You can, there's no commitment there, and to just jump in and out. You're not trying to follow a long, complicated story or anything like that. So yeah, that was my thing. Just more kind of mindless entertainment type of thing.
I like just the opposite, I do like the ones that have the very involved story, and it's very, and I've never, even when my hands work correctly, I was never good at first person shooters. Never. I didn't
say I was either, but they were fun. I was good enough for it to be fun. I wasn't a last place player, for sure.
I probably would have been close unless I got lucky. And Castle Wolfenstein, when it first came out, I worked at a place, and on Fridays we would Friday afternoons, the IT department would either watch a movie or play a game. We played Civ 6, not Civ 6, Civ 3. It was the multiplayer part of it. There was the multiplayer add-on. But anyways, we played.
One I couldn't get into is Counter-Strike though, because
I've never played any of those.
Those people take that shit way too seriously. They're way too into it.
My son-in-law was describing some of the stuff, and they have all the code words, and there's But we were playing Castle Wolfenstein, and this guy Gary in the IT department, who was Gary was very angry all the time. He was just an angry person. So for whatever reason, at the time, I was a young man, and I enjoyed making Gary angry. I don't know why, because I was just not a nice person. So I really enjoyed making Gary angry. Well, one time I shot him on accident. He was on my team, and I accidentally killed him. And he it really was an accident. But he got so mad, I kept killing him after that.
Of course.
And he was he's in a cubicle, way in the other end of the room, and I could hear him swearing and screaming and calling me all kinds of names and stuff. So I just kept doing it. But that's the limit of my my skills in any of those games. Terry said, "Careful, or the SS of guppies will visit you." Lefty, what's up, buddy?
What guppies hiding in my attic?
There's an Anne Frank joke in there somewhere, right?
It was straight up Anne Frank joke.
I was trying to think of, I was trying to transfer Anne Frank into guppies, and what it would be, and it just didn't work. No multiplayer, Stephen. That's what S is asking then. So no multiplayer? Well, obviously those games were multiplayer, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, the Call of Duty, that was all I did was the multiplayer part of it. The story was usually 3 or 5 hours long. And once you were done with that, the multiplayer was the reason people bought the games. Just Counter-Strike, I guess it's all multiplayer, and I just, I couldn't handle that. There's too much teamwork required, and I'm not a good team player. If I don't feel like playing, I'm going to leave the match before it ends. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
I'm going to leave you high and dry. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
I don't got time for all that.
I haven't played a multiplayer game. It's been a long time. And Lefty's talking about Civ. Merrick, hey Merrick, just came in.
I do like sandbox games. I've never played Civ. I actually played Roller Coaster Tycoon for a while.
Yeah, that's good.
And what's the other one? Planet Coaster is a more recent one. That one's pretty fun.
And there's like the Zoo one, and there's Zoo Tycoon, and I mean there's a million of those tycoon games that cover different whatever, you know. Kelly Foreman's cat came home good. That's got to be a load off there.
Awesome.
Michelle said she thinks I'm related to her. And Lefty's been dying to get me to play Wingspan. He even gave me a code. So I bought the game. Lefty, how long has it been? Has it been 6 months? Maybe even longer. I bought the game 6 months ago, and I started the tutorial, and that was it. I haven't gone back since. And Lefty's been waiting on me to finish the tutorial so we can play, you know, a game. He loves the game Wingspan. It's a board game that they did a pretty faithful recreation of the digital or of the board game in digital. And it looks like it's a lot of fun. It's right up my alley, but
I gotta say, I have abandoned a lot of games during the tutorial. Like you have 30 seconds to explain this game to me, or I'm gone. And I better understand it in 30 seconds, at least the basics of getting started. Like, don't give me a tutorial. Teach me along the way, but also don't teach me too much along the way. You got to strike a balance. And, you know, there are some games that do like an amazing job at that, and I'll stick with them.
Yeah, but some, you're right. Some they go, there's too many concepts that they throw at you at once. Once that you can pick up as you get farther into the game.
Yeah.
Okay, look at that. We hit the bottom of the chat, and that's perfect timing because it's 9 minutes.
Oh, till Mr. Popular's got another stream, huh?
Till that's Diego. Right. Tonight I'm going on with Diego and Mr. Ed. I always say that, Mr. Ed. And I'm sure for a lot of younger people, they're like, oh, so. But yeah, Mr. Ed was that old TV show with a horse that could talk. Wilbur.
Oh, Jenna reminds me. I really like the Batman Arkham games.
That was a good one.
I do like stuff with a good story. But like my staple games were the ones I could jump in and out of a server like that.
Gotcha.
Shooter stuff.
The BioShock ones were fun. I had fun with those. You got anything coming up? Anything you want to talk about? Any cool videos? Anything you want to share with us?
I generally don't talk about what I'm working on. It just comes out.
Mr. Secret.
No, well, there's a reason for that, because I don't trust my ability to follow through with everything. Gotcha. I have more ideas than I can handle right now, and I have them all written down, but the odds of me following through with even half of them are slim to none, because I'm going to come up with, like, in between, I'm going to come up with more ideas, and those are going to be abandoned.
Gotcha.
So the only one I can, I've got a cleanup crew order coming from Dan, and he's shipping it for me on Thursday because I have to drive to the airport on Wednesday when the box will usually show up. So I'll do an unboxing, and that will be the premiere of the song style that you requested.
Nice.
And I've got more tank tours to do. Obviously, I have 10 tanks, and I've done a tour of, I guess, like 5 of them. So there's more coming.
And if you do watch, Stephen, sometimes people stop watching something after the first part and don't look at the B-roll. Well, a lot of times the B-roll is even better than the original or the first part of it, because that's usually where the songs are hidden. And they're always, even the very, very silliest of them is still very funny. And the very first one you did it, I don't remember what you said, but you were barely even singing. It was just real quiet in the background, but there was something you said that made me laugh, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, that was like making it up on the fly. Along with it, I'm like, I feel like when I do these B-roll things, that's when people drop out, because, like, okay, we see the fish. I don't need to see it for another minute and a half, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I got to do something to, I have to justify this being here in the video.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was what I came up with.
And the songs do that great. So again, don't Lefty got it. Lefty got the Mr. Ed thing. Don't drop out before you see all those. All right. Well, I don't have anything else to bring up. So yeah, we're going to go over to Diego and watch Diego. Let's see who else goes at 8 o'clock. I believe that Fancy Tail Aquatics. I believe Susan is also. She might still be on right now too. She starts a little bit after I do. So Susan might be on right now. I think Fancy Tail goes at the same time. Alex, Secret History.
Oh yeah. Wait, does he go on Tuesdays?
Yeah, he's it.
Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, okay. Most of the time, not always, but most of the time he goes on Tuesdays, and he starts right around 7 o'clock as well.
I always forget. I click the reminder button on everything. I'm like, just pop up when you're ready because I don't remember when you're coming on. And while Bob Kaler is in this chat, I would like to say, Bob, please update the schedule on Facebook because it's wrong.
He does, but he has to go on what people give him.
Yeah,
he can't. Yeah, he can't follow. He can't just make changes. So even though we might not see somebody for a long time, you just
he still has John and Lisa going on at 9 Eastern.
Yeah,
and that for a while.
The best thing for that is go on there and make note of it and tell him John and Lisa has that way he can because he's got a lot of I don't know, plates in the air. He's doing a lot of different things.
Okay, but we gotta mess with him a little bit, right? I mean, give him a hard time.
No, that's what he wants though. So don't give him what he wants.
Okay.
But he does do a good job keeping it up to date. But a lot of people don't tell him when they stop streaming or anything. Yeah. So, anybody could go on there and say, hey, they no longer stream at this time, but if it's not coming from the person who actually does it, then that
was why I never said anything because I don't see this person stream anymore, but maybe he or she might pop up again. I don't know what's going on in their life.
Or maybe they've blocked me and I just don't see them.
Could be. I like to stir the pot.
Paul said, so you're taking the rest of the week off? I have no idea. Tonight with Diego. Actually, no, Saturday night. Ed and I are doing the Saturday Spotlight, and our guest for that is 503 Aquatics. Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Awesome.
She in the Saturday Spotlight, actually Stephen was our first guest on that, but the Saturday Spotlight is sort of what we do here, but it's directly related to the fish hobby.
Yeah, I remember it being more fish focused.
Yeah, definitely about, so we're going to learn about what fish Shanna keeps and how long she's been in the hobby and all that kind of stuff. So, she's our guest on Saturday. I'm 99% sure that James is not going this week, and Ed and I will be going because we only do that when James doesn't go on Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, let's say goodnight. Good night.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You can keep this stream up. It's good. Good job.
Stephen, thanks so much for coming up with us.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Next week, Drew. Fisty Bish.
Fishy Bish. All right.
Fishy Biz is our guest next Tuesday. So that'll be another fun one. Thanks everybody for being here. And we'll see you over at Diego's or wherever you go. But go show somebody some love. There's a lot of streamers going tonight. Bentley Pasco, Catfish Terry. We might see All Things Fish. I mean, there's a lot of people. So go show some love to the rest of the fish fam. And thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.